Rachel!
What?
I can't see you. Like, your video is so messed up.
Are you serious?
Oh, all the time.
I really thought we had this fixed. There's always something.
I wish there was a way we could fix this.
Well, the only thing I know to do to fix it is for me to be in the same room. Hi, y'all. Welcome to our channel. I know we said a long time ago that we would never be in the same room, but here we are in the same room because COVID messed up so many things for us. At least one trip to New York. And we decided that we weren't going to let it mess up our fall break. So I came to Phoenix to visit for a week. So here we are. We knew we had to do a video because, and y'all, it's weird. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Gotta be honest, it is strange.
So we decided to take it back to the beginning and re-record our very first video topic that we did, which was co-writing, because if you guys have watched that video, we want to apologize. That was when we were first starting off. We were
videoing on Skype.
On Skype. It
like
was
we recorded
so
from
bad.
Skype.
And the audio was terrible. We know those videos are really bad. So we know that you guys are really excited to learn about co-writing because you've shared that stuff with us, and that video for being crap is done okay.
Yeah, the info's good, but we're really embarrassed of the quality. So we decided that that would be the one that we would recreate today.
So in this video, we are going to give you the 5 ingredients for co-writing success.
Ingredient number 1 is equal passion for whatever story it is you are writing together. Because if you both don't love the plot and love the characters, it's not going to work. And if you don't love it, this is with any story, if you don't love it, who else will?
Yeah,
No,
you've got to be the #1 fan of your story.
Yeah, and when you're writing a story together, for me, I think it's even more important that you both love it, because writing by yourself is like, okay, I want to sit down and write today. I'm going to do that. And that's all there is to it. But when you're co-writing, especially when you're co-writing with 2-hour distance between you, it's a thing that takes time. You have to plan it. It's a whole thing. And if you don't both love the story and really want to tell it, it's not going to work. And your readers will be able to tell. We have personal experience in this matter. Edge of the Veil was our first book that we wrote together, and we both loved it.
Yeah.
I think we told the story before. Maybe we haven't. This may be the video where we told the story. I don't know. If you haven't seen it, short version is, we were given the idea for Edge of the Veil for a writing role play exercise. And so we did that, and we just fell in love with the characters. We created them in one night and just loved them both and wanted to continue the story. That story was amazing. It got featured on Wattpad's featured list, is what it was called at the time, and it's the book that we got published traditionally, so we loved it, and other people did too. But fast forward a little bit to the old sequel, Between the Veils.
The old sequel
that we clearly did not love as much as Edge of the Veil, or as much as any other book we've written since. It took us months and months and months to write. We started it, what? I don't know when we started it.
A long time.
We didn't finish it until I was here last year. I mean, it was like a year.
It took a long time.
We wrote Edge of the Veil in what? A month and a half?
Yeah.
And that's because we loved it so much. And our readers, I think, did not love Between the Veils as much as Edge either, because I think that they could tell, you know, subconsciously, that we didn't love it as much as the first.
The second ingredient is to decide the little details. Where are you going to write? We started writing in, I don't even remember.
Chatsy.
Lame. It was lame, but at the time it really worked for us because we were even new in our friendship, and we were not comfortable with the other person seeing us write. So that was just a safe place for us to write a story together. Whereas where we grew together, that all changed, and now we are in the same Word document together, and the other person is literally watching us, the other one misspell words or forget punctuation or making zero sense sometimes. So you have to kind of decide those types of little details to make sure that both parties are comfortable and that you guys are going to create something really good, because there isn't that awkwardness.
Yeah. One thing I do remember is once we switched from Chatsy to Discord, we would write in Discord first, and then I would have to copy and paste everything we wrote from Discord into the Word document or Google Doc at the time.
Yeah.
It was annoying. It was, oh my God. So I gladly traded the privacy of writing without someone watching me for the ease of just freaking writing it, and it's right there. So that is a very important little detail. We do now use Word on Office 365.
Also, when it comes to deciding the little details, how you're going to write it, you'll see a lot of co-writers you do a chapter, I do a chapter. Our first story, we decided we were going to treat it as a role play. So there were characters that were specifically assigned to Rachel and ones that were specifically assigned to me. And that allowed us to kind of have this great flow of conversation between the characters, because really the other person didn't know what that character was going to say.
Yeah, that was fun.
I liked it a lot too. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. So that added some spontaneity, and it also put it made the dialogue very authentic. We knew where the story needed to go. We just didn't know how the characters we controlled were going to get there.
Right. You could do one write chapter, the other write chapter, like you said. I personally would never want to write with you like that. I just don't.
Well, we don't even do the character thing anymore.
No, we don't, because that was easy, because most of the characters, I mean, Declan and Lexi's story, they were the main ones that, we had a few side characters that we kind of split evenly. You did most of Ezra, I did most of Caleb. But now with our stories, we don't even assign characters anymore. We all write. I mean, you have to admit, you write, like with Adrift, you wrote more of Silas than I did. Yeah. And I wrote more of Delaney than you did. But we definitely shared the responsibility of all the characters.
It's now a matter of how much of this scene do I feel like I really want to have control of, and then that goes into number 3.
Right.
Which is
open communication. You have to be honest with your co-writer. You cannot be afraid to tell them exactly what you think when you're thinking it, because now I will stop you and you will stop me literally in the middle and be like, what are you doing? That's not what, no, I don't like that. Back in the day, I'll admit it, I was nervous to tell you that I didn't like the way something was going, because I didn't want to hurt your feelings, which now I know that's like almost impossible.
You should have just told me it was crap.
We would have to wait until something was already written and then finally get up the balls to be like, hey, I don't really like that. And then we have to go back and rewrite the whole thing. It's not worth it. Like, just tell me right then that you don't like what's going on. Or not only that, maybe it's not that you don't like it, but you pictured it going a different way.
Yeah.
And that may be an even better way than what I had in mind, or vice versa. So you have to communicate when you don't agree. Also, you have to be honest about your weaknesses and accept criticism and advice on how to improve upon those weaknesses, because we can't all be perfect in every way.
It's kind of the joy of co-writing is that where I might have a weakness with the emotional side of a character, that's a strong point for you. Where you might have a weakness with, setting scene details, that's a strong point for me. So it's kind of nice because together we end up being the perfect writer.
That's true. That is so true. Like right now we're writing solo projects. We're almost done. So almost done. But we've actually noticed I have to go back in my solo project and add scene description. I have to go back and add all kinds of description. Actually, you have to go back and add emotional stuff. But when we're writing together, that is so done. It's so already done. I have to sit here and say, I'm not great at writing descriptions. You have to sit there and say, I'm not great at writing emotion. But both of us have improved very much on those things because of the other one. We really have learned a lot from each other. But you can't do that without communicating, which another segue into number 4,
which is a willingness to compromise. And we talked a little bit about that in number 3, but again, you might have this idea and picture everything going a certain way. And here's the thing. If you can't give up control, co-writing is not for you. Just don't. Stick with your own stories. But if you have a willingness to compromise, this can work out really well. And I'm not saying that that's always been really easy. There's been moments where we've definitely had something in our head. It was going to go a certain way, and the other person comes in and is like, no, that I just don't see that, and I don't understand how that's going to segue along or move the story along. So that stuff is really, really important, that you can kind of let go, and it's for the betterment of the story.
Right. You have to let go of your ego. You can't really even have an ego when you're co-writing.
No, there's no room for that.
No.
And on top of that is the way that you're going to plot. So here's my story. When Rachel approached me about taking this little writing exercise that we had done and turning it into a story, I was really set in my ways on how a story needs to be plotted. And so I said, that's great, I'll do it with you, but I'm not someone that's going to half-ass a story. So if you think, no, hold on, I know, she's
I'm not a half-asser.
She's not a half-asser, but this was what I said to her. If you're going to half-ass a story, please, let's just not. And she's like, no, I'm really serious. I said, the other problem is I am a plotter, and I need to know where we're going before we even start. So you're going to have to sit down with me, Miss Pantser at the time, and plot with me.
And that was, I was like, okay, cool. I'll do whatever you want to do, because I really wanted to write this story. So I should completely change the way I write. I do plot now. I wouldn't even call myself a half and half anymore. I hate it. It is like the least fun thing. But it's worth it. Very much worth it. So
yeah,
you're right. I was gonna.
That's on video.
Also, I want to say that I had one ultimatum as well for you. Do you remember what it was? It was something really small.
There was an ultimatum for
me. And I
me?
think you already did it, so it wasn't really a big deal. I said, you have to, or I will not write with you. You have to use and respect the Oxford comma. She already did. I was so afraid though that she didn't, and it was really a deal breaker for me. That's how much I love the Oxford comma.
Perfect. That's how we knew that we were writing soulmates.
Yep. It's just perfect. You think that we planned this video. Number 5 is pick a partner that you like a lot, because you will spend a shit ton of time together, and just be ready to be best friends.
That works out.
Because that's what's going to happen. And if you don't become best friends, then that's probably not the right co-writer for you.
We hope that this video, in all its new glory, refreshed your mind on the things that work best when picking a writing partner. This is really a great experience. I would not trade it for the world. I'm excited to write another story with you. So, I mean, if you have the compromising ability and a story that you really love and want to write with somebody, then I highly encourage you to go and do that.
Because you might meet your bestest friend ever.
Oh, that's us. If you would like to read our very first story, which is Edge of the Veil, you can check that out on Kindle. It's also available on Kindle Unlimited, so it's free for those of you that have that subscription. But if you'd like to read some of our other stories like Makeover, Adrift, Wish, Timeless, all of those can be found on our Wattpad, Crystal and Felicity.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you don't miss a Friday upload.
And as always,